So with that being said, bud, we're going to keep it moving. We're going to go switch over to the UK. This one was on DAZN, and we had Galal Yafai versus Francisco Rodriguez. Now, Galal Yafai, his last fight, won the interim flyweight championship versus Sonny Edwards. This was his first title defense. He was fighting Francisco Rodriguez in Galal Yafai's hometown in the UK. Now, I don't get to say this often to you, bud, but I told you so. We went ahead and watched some film scouting these guys beforehand. I took a peek at both of them. I watched Rodriguez. I told you to take a look at him. And he was a 2.5 to 1 underdog coming in. I thought he'd pull off the upset. He did in the end. But I go back to the Juto Nakatani fight in 2022 when he fell short. And in that fight, he showed an unbelievable chin to take the punches from Nakatani, a big puncher. But he showed the resilience, the heart, the character, the desire, the will. The stuff you always talk about, the makings of a champion. And I thought for Yafai, only 9 professional fights. I know he's a gold medalist, but would this test be too much too soon? And it proved to be that it was. He jumped all over him, Rodriguez did in the first round, hurt him early, and he pummeled him throughout. Clear-cut decision win. All the credit in the world to Galal Yafai to stay on his feet. He was only dropped in the later round, in the last round. Yeah, no question. And Yafai, I was worried watching the fight. The last 6-7 rounds of that fight, it was a vicious beating. And I was waiting for the corner to stop it. I was waiting for maybe the referee to stop it. I want to get your thoughts on the fight, but also we talk about it. You say it all the time that a piece of a fighter is left in the ring. There was definitely a piece of Yafai left in the ring that night. Is he going to be permanently damaged from this one loss and his only loss in his young professional career?
It's possible, but it's possible. He's not young either. He's 32. I mean, he's not real, even though he's young as an athlete, as a fighter. He hasn't accumulated a lot of punishment, although he had a big amateur career. He's a gold medalist from the Olympics. So he's not old that way. He's not used up. He's not shop worn. But I'll say this. You won't know until you get him in the gym. You won't know until he gets in another fight if he's permanently has been compromised by that fight, psychologically or physically or both. But I'll say this. If you're going to do the right thing, and I hope they do, and I hope they know what the right thing is, the people around them, you better give him a long rest. He needs a long rest. You do not let him get back in the ring or in the gym, for that matter, with sparring, for at least, I'm being conservative, I'm being at least 6 months, but I would go further. I'd go 9 months. I would go 9 months. And I probably wouldn't have him in the ring for at least 9 months, 10 months, because of what you just alluded to. The kind of regular, sometimes it opens up and provokes the argument. Is it better to get hit a big shot early, get knocked out, or to take a lot of shots and handle them, take them, absorb them, an accumulation of punches, maybe not TNT punches, but just clean punches for a long period of time, which is more damaging? I mean, I would say, pretty much from being in the business and common sense too, and I think most neurologists and professional people in the medical field would agree, it's worse to take the accumulative effect of punches, to take those kind of punches for 12 rounds rather than just one punch early on and you get knocked out, but there's no more punishment being taken. So it is something that you have to watch. To your point, Bud, you picked it perfect. We do have to start doing live streaming of more fights, not just the Canelo Crawford type fights, not just the mega fights, but more fights. And we got to start offering during the fight some suggestions of who we like from a handicapping standpoint. If you want to do a little bit of gambling. We're not looking to force it on anyone. We're not looking to overdo it. We don't want anybody to bet more than that is responsible for them, but it's out there. It's out there. It's on ESPN. It's all over the place. The gambling aspect of it. You get lifetime odds watching fights now. It's a whole different world. So you did say Rodriguez. You liked him a lot, and it was plus 250. And so we're gonna have to start looking at doing that on some kind of regular level. But in the meantime, you picked him for all the right reasons. His experience, he was just so much more experienced than Yafai. His relentless style, his heart, his chin. Yafai is known as a decent puncher. He's got 7 knockouts and 9 fights going in. You know, the thought was maybe he was going to hurt Rodriguez because he is in front of you. He's right there. He could catch him. He could hurt him. But when you know you got a guy with a durable chin, with a good set of whiskers, and you know he's got the experience, and you know he's got a relentless style, guess what? If he's fighting a guy who hasn't been in those waters before, right? If he hasn't been in that stage before, with this kind of fighter before, this kind of animal, and I'm saying that in a complimentary way, it's a good bet to go and take a shot at it. And that's why you did. And that's why your acumen about boxing is right. You want a button with that. At the end of the day, I have to mention, I know there's idiots out there that disagree with me, and so I shouldn't call them idiots. You could disagree with me. That doesn't make you an idiot. But I do think that some of you are idiots. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. But does anyone disagree with me if they're being honest here? And you know I love the British, right? I love you guys. I love you. I mean, you're my brothers and sisters over there. I have crumpets and Guinness with you any day of the week if I was over there. You're the greatest fight fans in the world. And I'm not dismissing the Mexicans, the Irish, any of them, or Americans. But the English have such a long history with the boxing. They're great fans. But can your referees be any more nasty to the visiting fighter when he's fighting for a big fight, a title fight, whatever? Can they be any less accommodating? I mean, would you go to somebody's house if the host of the house treated you that way and said, "What do you want? What? Go over there. Can I use the bathroom?" "No, you can't. Excuse me, can I get a napkin?" "Go get they're over there." I mean, if you got treated that way in a normal situation, if you went into Starbucks and you got treated that way, you wouldn't go back. I don't know why fighters, I know they have no choice, but why they go over there and their managers don't insist. If you're fighting a home country fighter from the UK, you have to insist on getting a neutral ref from another country. I wouldn't take my fighter over there. I wouldn't. I'm sorry, some of you, whatever, you might disagree with me, but your eyes, how can you deny what we see? The way every time, and again this time, the referee, the way he treated Rodriguez. Oh my God, it was like he was interfering. It was like he was looking to take a point away, looking to disqualify, look to stop him from punching to the body. And even when he pushed him back, with Yafai, he goes like this. "Hey, you okay? You good? All right, boy. Hey, get out of here. Come on, get back. You know, I mean, just the body language, the attitude. Again, the involvement with the visiting fighter, to the extent that these referees that are home country refs, the way they treat them, I don't think it's right. And sometimes it does interfere with the outcome of the fight. This time it didn't. Rodriguez did what you said. He's relentless. He just kept coming. He just kept coming. He got caught some good shots. Like you said, Yafai showed plenty of heart. It was a phone booth fight. I'll finish with this. Yafai was given, at the end of the day, maybe you could say, the main part of Teddy Atlas's handicap in here that really matters is that it came down to Rodriguez having too many fights, too much experience, too relentless, but just too experienced at this point in Yafai's career. Now, this might either take something out of Yafai or to make him a better fighter. I think it'll make him a better fighter, psychologically and technically. And I would say this, that Yafai, and I'm not trying to be critical, I'm giving him nothing but credit for the heart he showed, but they chose the wrong fight plan. And now at the end of the day, maybe they couldn't have executed any other fight plan. They didn't have enough experience to do it, enough confidence to do it, enough discipline yet in his life to do it with this particular relentless guy. But for me, if Yafai was going to win this fight, he was going to fight on the outside. You know you got a guy coming at you. You know that Yafai can punch pretty good. And he was going to nail him coming in. He was going to hurt. He was going to get opportunities on the outside to counterpunch, to land an uppercut, to land a clean punch as Rodriguez comes forward. That had to be the fight plan. If I'm involved, that has to be the fight plan. Now, whether or not you can execute it, hey, that's what it comes down to. But to keep separation, let Rodriguez come at you and catch him coming. Make him pay a price. Make him go through a bad neighborhood and see if you can mug him. That's how you fight Rodriguez. You do not fight him the way Yafai. It was a great fight, but you don't fight him if you want to give yourself the best chance to win. You don't fight him in a phone booth. Not that guy. You don't do that. And at the end of the day, I think I know why he did it. They probably underestimated Rodriguez a little bit. He's a confident kid. He thinks, I'm home. I'm going to fight. I'm going to beat him. I've knocked out 7 guys. I'm going to hurt him. I'm just going to fight him. I'm going to be the boss. I'm going to show him who the boss is. I'm going to show him who the next full champion is instead of an interim champion. I think it was a little bit of ego, a little bit of that. And that's where the corner, the trainer, and I'm not blaming anyone, but that's where they also have to be involved to make sure they mandate the fight plan, that they talk about this and say, look, I know that you're confident. I know that you think that you could outfight them, but this is how you're fighting them. This gives us the best chance to win. Do not allow any of this other stuff to interfere with that fight plan. Do not let that get involved. I'm done. I'm done with this guy, like Joe Pesci said in My Cousin Vinny. I'm done. I'm done with this guy. I'm finished with it.